Welcome in, everyone. I am the Crypto Bull God, and this is All in the Charts. If you appreciate the content, make sure to hit the thumbs up button, drop me a comment. You need to click the bell icon for all notifications to know when I go live on this YouTube, guys. Hope you're having a great day. Markets are looking fantastic. Everything that I'm seeing in the market, it just seems like, I had tweeted out earlier today. Let me see, where is this at? Blah, blah, blah. Where did I put this at? I want to jump right into things, by the way, because I am a little limited on time today. When I look at both my crypto portfolio and the entire space, I feel like this is all scripted. Probably because I've been here before. Probably because I've been here for this. And it is very similar. Human emotions and behavior patterns are repeating. Gregory Black Oil with the super chat. Thank you, my friend. Yeah, guys, there's nothing surprising that's going on today. There's just a rotation within certain altcoins are popping off. Others, you see a little bit of consolidation taking place. You know, some laggards like your larger altcoins like your XRP, your Doge, even Matic. I expect to pick up, start going much higher. These things are starting to move. Bitcoin consolidating right around $57,000. Could we get a pullback? Sure, but you're silly to be shorting a market at this time, in my opinion. I think the trend is your friend, ladies and gentlemen, and the trend is up. I can never tell you anything with certainty. Todd, thank you for the super chat, my friend. Loving the support here, guys. Really appreciate you guys a lot. What you need to recognize is Bitcoin is entering a parabolic phase, okay? And the only thing I'm going to tell you about the market right now is, unless if you're an extremely experienced trader and you're very good at day trading, which is the extreme minute minority of the populace, you would be a complete moron to be shorting this market. I can't tell you if this thing's going to drop back down to 54 and then shoot back up or shoot back down to 50. What I do know is that there's an extreme possibility with the way the market movements are currently looking, we're really not going to get a significant pullback until we go well above $60,000, in my opinion. So, and the altcoins are just setting up beautifully. You're seeing a lot of altcoins. You might be wondering why you're seeing a little bit of red in the market. We are not, I'm telling you right now, from someone who's been here for a while, just from looking at the charts I shared with you yesterday, and my overall sense of the market, we are not long for the days where you're going to wake up and you're going to see your altcoins up 30, 40, 50, 70, 100%. We're not far from that. I'm just telling you that right now. You can quote me on that, all right? I think March is going to be a potentially explosive month, up. So, but I'm not here to chart anything, guys. I'm here to take your charting questions. You know it's Tuesday. Did want to let you know that tomorrow, more than likely, I'm not going to be live streaming at all. I'm trying my damnedest to get a Digibyte video out by tomorrow. If it's not released by tomorrow, it'll be released at some point this week. Just released a Caspa video today. Got a decent amount of love on that Caspa video, so thank you for everyone who's checked it out. It's performed fairly well. I have a pretty small channel. I only have about 3,300 subscribers, so this video so far has about 2,000 views, which is really good for me in less than 24 hours. So very, very good. Check out that video if you haven't. There is one chart in that video that I have not covered on Caspa that at least is signaling to me that we still have an explosive move up in that asset before we see any sort of a significant correction. I still have I shared with you guys, again, I don't want people here screwing around with leverage because most people are going to get burned. I established for me what is a relatively small position on a leverage play with Caspa, and I feel very confident on that. So we'll have to see how that pans out. All right, guys, drop your comments in the your TA questions in the comments here. I want to jump right into questions because, again, I don't have a lot of time. and I want to get to whatever questions that you have. As you can see, I have not been doing a lot of charting today. Was looking at a few Bitcoin charts. All right, guys, what do you got? We're going to start from the top here. Anyone from the super chats? Greg, Todd, let me know if you have any questions. Appreciate you being the enforcer, Greg. Welcome in, everyone. I don't have time to, sorry, I just don't have time today to reply to everyone's comments, but I am very happy to see everybody on the live stream. Oof, you got ILV. Yes, we can take a look at that. Let's see. Let's see what we got here. The other thing is I'm pulling this up and thinking about this, guys. Now, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be live streaming tomorrow. But the other thing that I want you to keep an eye on now that I'm thinking about this is Thursday and Friday, more than likely, I will be live streaming at a different time. And that's really why it is important that you click the bell icon for all notifications. So I'll still keep the format pretty quick, 30 minutes, 35 minutes, but it's going to be at a different time than 5 p.m. I'm just not going to be able to live stream on Thursday and Friday at 5 p.m. Okay, now this chart is on a weekly here. There's a decent amount of data that we can look at this on a weekly. I may have looked at this on a 3-day. I'm not quite sure, but I like this on a weekly. So at the point in time when we looked at this, I can tell you right now, we were in here. And the reason that I know that is because we drew the descending resistance, and we have since consolidated outside of that. And I know that red is for resistance and green is for support. So we were underneath those red lines. We can flip all of these to green to save us some time. I'm just going to make this green. So these are the significant areas that I would look at if we see a pullback. Although we're entering new all-time highs right now. Actually, I would lower this line just a smidge. Now that we have additional price data, I like this more because we wick down here. So here are your areas of resistance, or excuse me, support. And what's happening right now in this weekly candle really isn't appropriate to paint this green because really the confirming candlestick would be next week. So I actually would opt to keep this red for now. We need this to close above this area around 108.47 and then next week to stay above it. There's another area of resistance right here. I want to paint this right at the bars here. I know that this is a significant area right here around, it looks like 117.26. But right now what ILV is doing is it's breaking out. It's having a blue sky. Is it a blue sky breakout? Oh no, we still have price data up here. We're creating all new all-time highs relative to recent price action that we've seen in 2023 and 24. So the question we need to ask ourselves is, where are we going to run into additional resistance? Well, it's not a lot of fun if you bought up here and you had a waterfall down in price. But the nice thing is if we are to come back up, there's not a lot of price resistance. Because there's not a lot of price confluence. We essentially had a waterfall down. So that is the nice thing when you start running up. There's not a whole lot of areas of resistance. And I'm going to paint out the major areas for you that I see. Not that we can't stop short of these areas, but these are the major areas that I'm looking at. Wow. I'd put another area right here. It looks like we had problems getting above there. So really these are your next major areas. I mean, you could draw an area right here. We had problems getting above there. So, these are your next major areas of resistance. This is on the weekly again. I'm looking at 187, 253, 315, and 460. Okay. On the price indicators, not surprising, we got a pullback here. The RSI was overbought at over 80. MACD is crossing back up. Stochastic RSI looks really good because we have a positive cross and we're above 20 here. Okay. And MACD has a positive cross, obviously, as well. You can see here it has the positive cross. So chart setup is really nice. I mean, the main thing that I want to see on this, I want to hold our price area above this local high here at this 120 area. Okay, so I want to retain a value above the 120 area. And then it's, the next major area is like 50% higher at 187. Okay, around 180, 190. All right, you got your areas of resistance there. So I would come back and have a conversation with me regarding this chart once we start pushing past $300. Okay, once we start, what's going on there? Once we start getting into this area here, okay, this is where I would be really interested in revisiting that chart. So that's what I would take a look at. Thank you for the question, my friend. Richard, I am doing fairly well. I hope you are as well. Okay, Greg. Oh, man, you're asking me 2 questions. I got to breeze through these, my friend. I'm trying to... I don't have saved charts for any of these. Cubic, yeah, I've seen this one mentioned a lot. Man, there's no price data here. I can't chart this if this is what you want me to chart, Greg. Greg, didn't you ask me about this before and I couldn't pull up price data? I'm not really sure what's going on here. Yeah, I'm gonna go to Trias. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm not seeing anything for Cubic that's of value to look at. Let's go to Trias. Let's go to KuCoin. Now, as you can see, this is one we did look at before. Looks like there's a decent amount of price data here. Very, 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 very nice. Very, 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 very nice. You can see once we broke the descending resistance here. Now, there was an area of resistance here. You can see it red, but you can also see this this black line of descending resistance. Look what happened. We broke up, we came back, we back tested this area, right? And we've since sprung board back above it, which is bullish and which is good to see. Now what we're seeing is we're running into resistance at this 17.4 level. A couple things that I would make note about the 17.4 level and a pattern potentially that's playing out here. First off, the 17.4 level, by the very nature of hitting it a few times and not getting above it, it's expressing a lot of strength in terms of being a really strong area to get past. Secondly, you know what I've said about areas of price confluence, whether we're talking about support or resistance. The more times you hit it, the more it weakens. Now, we've hit this area 3 times, really 4 times if you count this candlestick. I think the next time we come up towards 1740, we're going to break it. Now, the other thing that I see that I'll draw for you, I also see a potential. I'm just going to take out some of this volatility. But I see a bull pennant, okay? So I see a bull pennant. We could take the measured move wherever it breaks out to and, take it to new all-time highs. But I also see a bull pennant here on the chart, so that's something else to take note of. Once we start clearing 1740, it doesn't look like we're going to get any resistance until about $27. Again, I'm using nice round numbers, guys. We don't need to get too cute. 27 and 32. All right, 27 and 32. We start breaking out above 1740. There really isn't any major resistance until double top there at 21. Looks like you could get a little, I like this wick coming up here and this wick coming up here on this candlestick. You could get a little bit of resistance right here. I do see that. So you could get a little resistance at 21, followed by 27, 21, 27, and 32. Those are your areas of resistance. Now, the other thing that's really nice that I like to see in this chart is you can see this is almost like a rounding bottom, a little bit of consolidation, and then a move up here. And we're just consolidating again. Chart looks really good to me. I like this chart. And as far as the price indicators are concerned, RSI's cooled off a little bit, which is good. We're just under 70 at 67.5. Stochastic RSI looks fine. MACD looks very healthy. Thank you for the question, Greg. Did you clarify cubic? Because I don't see any price data. Yep, you're welcome. Yeah, sorry, I can't help you when there's like 4 candlesticks on a daily. There's really not much value that I can provide as a technician. Was really XRP up that much? I thought it was up 6%. Yeah, it's up 6%. Maybe it was up as much as 10%. Oof, you have another question? Let me see. Oof, before I get to your second question, let me see who else has a question, just so I'm trying to hit everybody up here. Anybody else? Anybody else? Hank, we can take a quick look at Jasmine, but you know, when things have run that hot, I just get hesitant to... Oh, no, wait, I have saved charts because I was in a trade. I'm not in that trade anymore. Yeah, so I don't own any Jasmine anymore, but I was in it for that trade. I mean, this is the 3-day. Okay, so right now, you're saying it's flagging. And you would be correct. So there is a potential. There certainly is a potential for there to be a pennant in play here, right? So I would be patient with this one. I would not be buying at these levels personally. See if this pennant does pan out. The other thing, Hank, that I do want to point out to you, though, is while that's valid, the more that price data develops in the chart, there are many different formations that can form for a bull pennant, right? It could look like that. It could look like this is also valid. You could get something like this. I want to make sure I'm drawing this as best as I can. You could draw something like that, right? Now, if you got something like this is still a bull pennant, right? But what am I telling you based on this theoretically playing out? Price could come all the way down to here, right? So you could be waiting a month for this thing to actually do something, right? Meanwhile, there are other trades out there if you are looking to trade this, if that's what you're doing, where there's a lot more immediate growth potential, right? So for me, yes, there is a possibility for a flag here. I just would remain patient. I would not be buying in at these levels personally. Because this flag, if it does, to your point, which is a good observation and an observation that you're making, a good one, it could pan out different ways depending upon how price data comes in. What else do we have? Try to keep the comments, guys, to TA questions. You can tell I'm tight on time today, so would appreciate that for today. You can tell I'm a little tight on time. Oh, Kathleen, I always got time for you. What are you talking about? Zilka. Yeah, this is one that really hasn't... Is this all the price data? I thought there was another exchange. Is it KuCoin? No. OKX. Okay, we'll stick with OKX. That's fine. All right, so we're going to look at this on a weekly. There's certainly enough price data here. I'm going to draw in a few areas of support. I'm going to keep this a little bit more brief, just again in the interest of time here. So we're not going to point out every area of support, Kathleen, but I'll just point out the major sort of zones. So really between 1.9 cents and 1.5 cents. I mean, ideally you want to hold, to express a greater degree of strength in this chart, we want to hold above roughly 1.9 cents. In terms of areas of resistance, pretty clean chart. And it's really easy as a technician to take a look at this and say, okay, well, here's sort of the main areas. Again, I'm not going to get too cute with price. I could sit here and get a little bit more fancy and make these neater, but I don't think it's really worth the time to do that. When you're short on time, I can still really easily display to you what your main zones are. Again, this is on a weekly. So really, we have several areas of main resistance here, okay? You can see them right here, 2.8 cents, 3.4, 5 cents, and 6 cents. Now, how are the price indicators looking at on the weekly? MACD looks good, RSI looks good, stochastic RSI looks good. Okay, so we're just sort of chipping and chopping here. We're just sort of chipping and chopping, and you want to start to get a little bit more bullish on this asset once we start to really clear the 5 to 6 cent area. If we go to a smaller time frame, I'm wondering if we have any nice bullish divergence coming in here. Well, what I like to see on the smaller time frame, let me see if it's on the 3-day as well. Yeah, what I like to see on this time frame here, I really like to see this nice upward sloping RSI, right? So as price, this is really beautiful to see. And you notice how I knew to go right to this, right? That's what happens when you've charted a lot of these things over an extended period of time. So you can see we're sort of consolidating in here, and all the meanwhile, the RSI is increasing in value. Love to see that. Great setup. I would get excited once we start to clear 5 to 6 cents. Now who has a question on OPSEC? I only have time for one, my friend. I can't answer this many TA questions. Let's take a look at SMH. Are you giving me ticker symbols or space mesh? Yeah, I don't know what that is. Yeah, man, if this is going to be one of these low volume, I can't chart this. I'm sorry. I mean, I need, in order to be helpful as a technician, I can't look at this and chart this for you. This is meaningless. There's just not enough price data. The volume's way too low. I mean, you got a gradual uptrending line here. If it were me personally, I just wouldn't be in something like this because it looks like it's just such a low volume play. But you can see based on this ascending line here, I personally wouldn't touch this unless if we came back to this upward sloping line. That's the only TA I would really give on this. There's not a lot of price data. I agree, Evan. Life is about to get crazy, and I'm very prepared. Oh, you're welcome. Now I'm sorry I can't help you out in the charts either. I'm just being transparent with you, but I'm glad you appreciate the content. Every time you give a thumbs up. Why, thank you, kind sir. Yes, Jorge, we can take a look at XDC. Good to see you on the live. We looked at this one recently. I don't know if I'm going to have any new updates for you. I don't know why I was looking at this in the 4-hour. We're right in the golden zone here. Nothing really. There's really not a lot of momentum here. It needs to show me something. I mean, here's the thing. I'm not bearish on this, and I'm not super bullish at the moment either because there's not a lot of momentum. The one thing I will say is there seems to be a downward channel playing out. And with the lack of momentum that's currently in play for XDC, we're running an increased level of risk that we're going to fall all the way back into this zone, which I don't want to see. Again, this was one of the stronger charts I've pointed out in times past. And it hasn't changed. That hasn't changed. But for the moment, it's expressing a lot of weakness, right? Expressing a lot of weakness. So if we start breaking below 4 cents, I mean, there's no reason we can't drop all the way down to 3 cents. Other areas of support we could potentially gravitate towards would be like 3.5 cents. But I need to see the momentum pick up here. There's not a lot to speak to on this chart. I'm not doing that, Jorge. I'm not in the mood today. If I was in a better mood, I would. I'll give a little flex. I got 18-inch pythons. Be better if I flex the right arm, right? Get a little flex in there. Not bad for a 42-year-old guy, right? Juan, look at the rest of the altcoin market, man. Like, look at what's going on. We're seeing red. We're seeing green. Casper's just not moving. At some point, it's going to move. I mean, you're seeing a lot of little bit of red in the market. It's just consolidation. Yes, you are correct. Once Bitcoin finds that zone where it's going to be chipping and chopping around for a little bit, yeah, your altcoins are going to start running. So just be patient. I mean, for the benefit of your portfolio, I never give financial advice on this channel. I'm just telling you, having been here in times past, be patient. Trust me, be patient. This would be the worst time for anyone listening to this and watching this to get impatient. This is the worst time. If you think, I really want to save you some stress and some money. I am never going to offer you financial advice. What I'm about to share with you is what I have learned from times past. Be patient with what you're holding. What you're holding is what you're holding. Do not start flipping coins. If you think that you can outsmart this market and flip coins, you are going to fucking lose money. Unless if your entire portfolio are made up of Dino coins, the only things you're holding are Zcash and Litecoin. Okay? Hopefully that's not the case. But unless that's the case, please, for the love of God, be patient. Please. It will benefit you. Just please. You're going to be so happy if you take that life advice in crypto. Left translated cycle, not today, my friend. Don't have time. Can you chart Pepe? Track, of course. Thought I had a chart for this. Maybe not. Look at that shit. Did you know that I own Pepe? I own like $5 worth. Fun fact. Yeah, we be taking off. This is on Binance, a 3-day. You know what I want to see on a 3-day? We're going to keep this on a 3-day. What I want to see is this line right here. It's really a zone. I want to see this zone here. I want to see it hold. You can read the price values off to the right. There's too many zeros for me to try to read that off. The main thing for me is for this move not to be some sort of pump and dump. Come on. God damn it. Now the price has made this huge move up. We can come all the way down here and that's fine. And we can continue going up. Let's hold that level. Now in terms of areas of resistance, there's really not a lot, right? There's an area. It's not. Isn't it not surprising that the body is right here and having a problem? Look to the left here. Look at where these bodies are. It isn't magic. It's just DA. There's resistance here right at the candle bodies, and we're having problems getting above it. And then obviously this is the all-time high. Once we break that, it's anybody's educated guess how high we'll go. Love the price action here. Things are looking really good here. Loving this. Now, again, when you're in a situation like this, in the market that we are in right now, please understand, and I'm going to repeat the opposite of this when we're in the dreaded bear market, okay? Things can remain overbought for extended periods of time, okay? So as healthy and as logical as it would be for us to pull back here and consolidate in this area, it might not happen. We might just continue higher, all right? But I would not suggest FOMOing. Just like in a bear market, when we're oversold in an asset, it can just keep going lower and lower and lower and lower and lower and be oversold, okay? I've learned that the hard way, being in this market for a long time. So this is looking really healthy. That's why I see in the chart, my friend. Any other questions? Any other questions? I really don't have too much more time. I will take one more question. Oof. As long as there isn't anyone else, because I helped you. J. Kim has a question on Injective, my friend. So I'm going to take that one, given that I helped you out with an earlier chart. Injective, although I think this is going to be pretty quick. Last I looked, we're just consolidating. Whoops. Injective weekly. Yeah, man, we're just consolidating. We're waiting for our next massive move up, and we're going to enter price discovery. So all we're doing, you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me when Caspa was consolidating and people were getting irritated because it wasn't moving. I think it was in the 9 to 10 cent range. And I released a video talking about the boring price movement and why it was important to remain patient, and there was clear signs of a consolidation, clear signs of a bull flag. The day I released the video is the day it popped off, okay? While this is not a bull pennant, okay, I would not call this a bull pennant. All we're doing is ranging right now, waiting for determination by the market if we want to move down or up. Obviously, you know which way I feel based on where the overall market is at. I find it highly improbable we're going to move down. In fact, if we go to a lower time frame on the 3-day, you can see this MACD, which has been a strong indicator in the past of bullish momentum once it has a bullish cross. We're starting to potentially get a cross up. Other thing that I see here, the downwards action in the RSI has been negated. We're starting to sort of level off here and increase in value. Stochastic RSI has a positive cross up above 20. This thing to me, injective protocol, to me, looks like it wants to pop very hard very soon. So if you're looking for a trade opportunity, this looks like it could be a great one. In fact, the more I'm looking at this, the more I may actually take a trade opportunity on this. And I'm going to take back what I said earlier, because when you go to a lower time frame, you can actually see we are in a bull pennant. Okay? So I actually hit on this in a Caspa video. This is a bull pennant. You see the pull and the pennant? This is a pennant. Okay? See another bull flag played out? And the way you can also draw this is one big pole. Okay? And this is one pennant here. So you can have a smaller bull flag or a bull pennant within a larger bull pennant, which is something I was trying to convey in the Caspa video. All right, guys, that's going to do it. I appreciate all of the engagement. I honestly wish I had time for more. I really did want to have time to chart more charts, but I had to sign off by 5:30. It'd actually be good if I cut it short by a few minutes. I have a lot of things to do. I'm going to be doing a little bit of traveling tomorrow, so I'm not sure that I'm going to be available for a live stream. I'm like 90% certain I won't. Look for the DigiByte video. Look for different times for me to go live on both Thursday and Friday. I will be going live with you guys. It's just going to be at different times on Thursday and Friday. And as always, if you appreciate the content, I would appreciate the support by expressing some love with a thumbs up, dropping me a comment, and letting me know that you stopped by. I love seeing all the regulars and new people popping in. And make sure you click the bell icon for all notifications. Very, very important, guys. There's going to be Sunday live streams. The market is picking up. Of course, Friday, we will have a very invaluable live stream on Friday covering the February monthly close for Bitcoin and what it is signaling to us for the month of March, which is setting up to, I cannot stress this enough. If February closes as bullish as it has the potential to close, March, April, May, June, that time period, no matter how those several months land, it has the potential to be life-changing for some of us, okay? At the very least, explosive in price action. So let's all hang in there and remain positive and optimistic about what we're seeing in the markets, because there's no reason to feel otherwise. I mean, the data is the data. This is why I love chart analysis. The facts are the facts in the charts. And right now, we are mania-fucking-mentally bullish, guys. All right? Until next time, let's all spread awareness and carry the education forward. Thank you so much for stopping by, guys. Take care.